When my little boy whispered those words to me, "Dad, don't go home tonight. I know something about Mom," I felt the world tilt under my feet. He was only 7, too young to carry a warning so heavy, too young to speak with fear in his eyes instead of innocence. It happened in the parking lot of his school. The sun was setting, painting the sky in soft orange, but all I could feel was cold. He held my hand tightly, like he was trying to protect me. A child, trying to protect his father. I bent down and asked him gently, "What do you mean, buddy?" He shook his head quickly, as if someone might hear us. "Just don't go, Dad, please." His voice cracked a little. In that moment, I didn't know if I should hold him, question him, or cry. For months, something had felt wrong in our home. Not loud wrong, quiet wrong. The kind you only notice when the house gets too silent, or when someone stops meeting your eyes. My wife, Emma, had grown distant, smiling less, talking less, choosing her phone over conversations, choosing the bedroom door over family dinners. But I thought it was stress. Work, life, the usual things adults blame when hearts drift apart slowly. Never once did I think our son felt it too. Never once did I imagine he was watching us with those big, observant eyes. As he stood there in his little school uniform, hair messy and backpack half open, he looked like a child but spoke like someone who had seen something he shouldn't have seen. Something that frightened him. I put my hand on his shoulder. Did something happen at home? He bit his lip, glanced around, and whispered, "Mom said something. She said something about you. She said something bad." My heart slowed down. What did she say? He shook his head again. I can't tell. She will be mad, but you should not go home tonight." The way he said it, soft, scared, pleading, gave me a chill worse than any truth could. I tried to calm him. "It's okay. You're safe. I'm okay too. You can tell me." He hugged me tightly instead. "Just don't go." Standing there in the dimming evening light, holding my terrified child, I realized this was not something small, not a misunderstanding, not a childish imagination. This was a warning, and it came from the one person who never lied to me. That night, I made a decision that would change everything. I would listen to my son and stay away from my own home. Before everything fell apart, we were an ordinary family, or at least we pretended to be. I met Emma when we were young, hopeful, and too quick to believe that love alone could carry the weight of a lifetime. She had warm eyes, the kind that made you feel seen, and I had dreams bigger than my salary. Together, we built a small life, an apartment we could barely afford, a car that rattled on cold mornings, and eventually, a little boy who changed our world. Our son Noah was gentle, thoughtful, the kind of child who apologized when others bumped into him. He loved drawing houses and families with smiling faces. He loved sitting on my lap during bedtime stories, even when he grew too tall for it. But somewhere along the line, Emma stopped smiling at me the way she used to. Her conversations shortened, her patience thinned, and her phone became her closest companion. At first, I blamed myself. Maybe I worked too much. Maybe I didn't notice her stress. Maybe I didn't show enough affection or attention. I tried changing small things, bringing flowers, helping more with the house, planning small family moments, but everything I did seemed to annoy her instead of comfort her. Our home became a silent place. Dinners felt like interviews. Even Noah sensed the change. He would look at both of us with uncertain eyes, as if waiting for an argument that never started but always floated in the air. Still, I believed we could fix it. I believed all couples went through phases. I believed love was stronger than distance. But love only works when both people protect it. Emma stopped protecting ours. She spent more and more time outside the house. She started coming home later, her excuses sounding practiced. Sometimes she said she was with her sister. Sometimes she said she needed air. Sometimes she didn't say anything at all. I asked questions, gently, calmly, but she snapped at me for being controlling. So, I stopped asking, and that hurt more than the distance. Meanwhile, Noah stayed close to me. Kids feel everything, even the silence between two adults. Sometimes he crawled into my bed at night and whispered, "Dad, are you okay?" And I always answered with the lie adults tell children, "I'm okay, buddy." But the truth was, I was scared. Scared of losing the woman I once knew. Scared of breaking the family we built. Scared of the things I didn't want to imagine. And then came the day my son warned me not to go home. The day innocence became truth. If this story touched your heart, please stay connected. Your support helps bring more real stories to life. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more heartfelt stories just like this. The morning after Noah warned me, I woke up at my brother's house. The couch was uncomfortable, but my thoughts were worse. Why would my son say something like that? What did he hear? What did he see? I called Emma, but she didn't answer. Texted her. Nothing. This wasn't new. She ignored my calls often, but somehow it felt different now. Around noon, Noah's teacher messaged me. She said Noah had been unusually quiet at school, drawing alone, not smiling. He kept looking toward the door as if expecting something to happen. The teacher asked if everything was okay at home. I typed yes, but my fingers froze. Because no, everything wasn't okay. I left work early and picked Noah up. He walked slowly, dragging his backpack. When he saw me, he tried to smile, but kids can't fake happiness the way adults do. We sat in the car for a moment. I waited. He waited. The silence stretched until he finally whispered, "Did you go home last night?" "No," I said. He let out a breath, relieved. That frightened me even more. "What's going on, buddy?" I asked again. "You can tell me. You didn't do anything wrong." He stared out the window. "Mom was talking to someone on the phone. I heard her. She didn't know I was there." "What did she say?" He hesitated. His voice dropped to a whisper. "She said you won't see me again soon." My heart stopped. I tried to stay calm. "Maybe you misunderstood." "No, Dad, she said it twice." I placed my hand over his. "Did she say why?" He shook his head quickly, but added, "She was angry. She said she is tired of pretend. She said she will end everything soon." A heavy silence filled the car. My breaths felt shallow. I knew our marriage was struggling. I knew she was distant. But the idea that she was planning something that involved taking my son away, that was a kind of pain I wasn't ready for. That evening, I tried calling her again. No answer. I checked our home security camera. She had turned it off. That wasn't normal. My mind raced. All the late nights, the excuses, the coldness. Nothing made sense before. But now the pieces began falling into place in a way I didn't want to believe. When a child warns you, you listen. When a spouse hides things, you look deeper. Something was coming, and I wasn't ready for it. The truth revealed itself quietly. Not with shouting, not with anger, but with a soft conversation I never expected. The next afternoon, Emma finally called. Her voice was strangely calm. "Where were you last night?" she asked. At my brother's, I replied. You weren't answering. She paused. We need to talk. I felt my stomach drop. About what? She said, about us. When I asked if I could come home, she took a long breath. No. I think you should stay away for a few days. Her words were cold, final. What's going on, Emma? Tell me the truth. Another pause. Then, I want a divorce. Even though I felt it coming, hearing it still felt like falling off a cliff. Why? I whispered. What changed? She exhaled slowly. I'm not happy. I haven't been happy for a long time. I wanted to argue, to fight, to remind her of our family. But something in her voice told me the decision wasn't new. It had been formed quietly, in her heart, long before she said it. I asked the only question that mattered. What about Noah? And that's when her tone shifted, sharper. He stays with me. Emma, we need to talk about this. There's nothing to discuss, she said flatly. A child belongs with his mother. Something inside me cracked. Not anger, not resentment, just fear. When I told her Noah was worried, she snapped. He shouldn't be involved in adult decisions. But he already was. She just didn't know how deeply. Then she added one final line. Go ahead and get a lawyer. I already have one. That's when I realized she had planned this. The distance, the late nights, the silence, turning off the cameras, everything. And Noah? Noah had heard enough to know I was in danger of losing him. After the call, I sat in my car in the grocery store parking lot, staring at nothing, seeing everything, feeling the truth settle like heavy stones in my chest. She wasn't just leaving me. She was preparing to erase me from our son's life. The something Noah overheard wasn't a threat. It was a plan. My marriage wasn't breaking. It was already broken. And my child saw it before I did. If this story touched your heart, please stay connected. Your support helps bring more real stories to life. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more heartfelt stories just like this. The next few days felt like walking through fog. Everything blurry, everything quiet, everything heavy. Emma didn't call, didn't text, not even to check on Noah. That silence told me more than any argument could. I kept Noah with me during that time, at my brother's house. He slept close, clinging to my arm at night as if he feared I'd disappear while he slept. One night, he whispered, "Dad, are you sad?" I smiled gently. "A little, but I'm okay." He thought for a moment. "Mom doesn't like you anymore." Kids never ask soft questions. They go right to the truth. I held him close. Sometimes grown-ups stop getting along, but it is not your fault. He nodded slowly. I know. I heard Mom talking for many days. My breath caught. Many days? He nodded again. She talked to someone on the phone. She said she is tired. She said she wants a new life. She said she wants to go far away. My chest tightened. Did she say anything about you? He hesitated, then whispered, She said she will take me. A quiet pain spread through me, a kind that doesn't scream, just sinks deeper and deeper. Buddy, I said softly, I will never let anything bad happen to you. He smiled faintly and closed his eyes, trusting me completely. That trust felt heavier than any responsibility I'd ever carried. The next morning, I called a lawyer, not because I wanted a fight, but because I needed to protect my son. The lawyer explained that leaving home suddenly, switching off cameras, and hiding communication was suspicious. She asked if there was someone else in Emma's life. I didn't know. But deep down, I suspected. That evening, I drove past our house. The lights were off except for one room. I parked across the street, hidden behind a large tree. I wasn't spying out of jealousy. I was a father trying to understand the storm coming towards us. And then I saw a car I didn't recognize pull into the driveway. A man stepped out. He walked with confidence, like someone familiar with the place. He didn't knock. He used a key. That moment didn't feel like betrayal. It felt like confirmation. Everything made sense now. The distance, the late nights, the sudden decision to take my son away. I didn't feel anger, just a deep, soft sadness that settled in my bones. My marriage wasn't ending because we drifted. It ended because she had already chosen someone else, and she wanted to take the one person who still chose me. I didn't storm into the house. I didn't shout. I didn't even knock. I simply sat there in the car, breathing slowly, watching the lights turn on and off inside the home I once believed was ours. The next morning, Emma called. She sounded rushed, almost defensive. "We need to finalize arrangements. I want Noah back today." Her words cut cleanly, not sharp, just cold. "Emma," I said softly, "I know about him." Silence. A long one. Then she whispered, "So?" No guilt, no surprise, no apology. That silence told me everything. She wasn't hiding him anymore. She wasn't trying to fix anything. She wasn't mine. Not emotionally, not mentally, not even respectfully. "Why didn't you talk to me?" I asked quietly. "Why didn't you tell me you were unhappy?" "I tried," she said. "You didn't hear me." "Emma, you stopped talking long before I stopped hearing." Another pause. Then her voice hardened. "This is pointless. I want Noah with me." "No," I replied, calm, firm. "Not until we go to court." "That could take months." "Then it takes months," I said. "He stays with me until then." She snapped. "You're selfish. You're trying to ruin my life." "No," I said softly. "I'm trying to protect my son." Her breathing grew uneven. "He belongs with me." "He belongs to both of us," I corrected. "But you tried to take him without telling me. That crossed a line." She didn't argue. Instead, she whispered something that broke me more than betrayal ever could. "He loves you more. That's why you don't deserve him." It was jealousy. Not love, not protection, jealousy. Quietly, I responded, "He loves us both, but he feels safer with me right now." She hung up without saying goodbye. That evening, Noah asked, "Did Mom call?" "Yes," I said. "Is she mad?" "She's confused," I answered gently. "But things will be okay." He nodded slowly, believing me. That belief was a warm weight on my chest. Later that night, Emma sent a message, short, threatening in a quiet way. "If you don't bring him back tomorrow, I will come take him myself." I locked my phone, took a breath, looked at my sleeping son. I made a silent promise then. I would not let anyone, no matter who, tear him from the safety he felt with me. Not through lies, not through fear, not through betrayal. That was the moment I transformed from a hurt husband into a determined father. If this story touched your heart, please stay connected. Your support helps bring more real stories to life. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more heartfelt stories just like this one. The next morning, before I could even prepare myself, there was a loud knock at my brother's door. Not urgent, not violent, just firm. Emma stood outside, wearing a calm expression that didn't match the storm inside her eyes. Behind her was the same unfamiliar man from the driveway. Noah peeked from behind my legs. He squeezed my hand tightly. "Let's not do this here," I said softly. "We're taking him," the man said bluntly. I stepped forward. "You are not involved in this." He smirked. "Emma wants her son." "He is my son too," I replied quietly. Emma's voice shook. "Please, don't make this harder." "Let's talk," I said, "inside, without him." She hesitated but agreed. The man tried to follow us in, but I blocked him with a calm voice. "This conversation is between parents." Inside, we sat at the dining table, the same table where my brother and I had spent nights discussing what to do, the same table where Noah ate pancakes and drew little pictures. Now it felt like a battleground of quiet words. Emma looked exhausted. "I just want my life back." "You can have your life," I said gently, "but not by destroying Noah's." Tears filled her eyes, but she looked away. "Emma," I continued softly, "he heard you talking. He heard you say you want to leave, that you want to take him far away." She covered her face with her hands. "I didn't mean for him to hear." "But you said it." A long silence followed. When she finally looked up, her voice cracked. "I thought you would be fine. I thought you didn't care." "I cared," I whispered. "Maybe too quietly. Maybe not the way you wanted. But I cared." A tear slid down her cheek. For the first time, I didn't see a villain. I didn't see the woman who betrayed me. I saw a person lost in her own confusion, making choices she couldn't undo. "She won't take him," she said suddenly. I froze. "What?" She wiped her face. "He's scared. I can see that now. I'll let the court decide. No running, no hiding." Relief washed through me. Not happiness, but a quiet, steady breath of peace. We walked outside together. Noah clung to me at first, but Emma knelt down. She touched his cheek. "I'm sorry," she whispered. He didn't say anything, just looked at her with gentle, confused eyes. Emma stood up and said softly, "Let's do this right." For the first time in months, I believed her. Weeks later, the storm finally began to settle. The lawyers stepped in. Papers were signed. Decisions were made. Joint custody, clear schedules, boundaries, rules. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't the family we once dreamed of, but it was safe, calm, honest. Emma and I no longer spoke as husband and wife. We spoke as parents, quietly, carefully, with respect. We were slowly rebuilding. One afternoon, during a custody exchange, she looked at me with tired eyes and said, "I'm sorry for everything." I nodded. We both hurt in our own ways. She whispered, "It wasn't your fault. I lost myself. I thought leaving everything behind would fix me." "Running never fixes anything," I replied softly. She gave a small nod. "Thank you for protecting him, even from me." Those words, they carried pain, but also acceptance. As months passed, the three of us formed a new routine. Not a broken family, not a perfect family, just a different family. And, in many ways, a healthier one. On a quiet evening, Noah crawled into my lap while we watched a cartoon. He leaned his head on my chest and whispered, "Dad, are you still sad?" I said honestly, "Sometimes." He whispered, Me too, but I feel safe. That simple sentence healed something inside me. Safety is not built by perfection. It is built by presence, by listening, by staying when things fall apart. As I held him, I realized something important. My son didn't save me from my marriage. He saved me from losing myself in it. He saw the truth long before I did. He spoke it bravely. He trusted me to hear him. And because of that trust, we found our way out of a quiet disaster. If there is one lesson I learned from this journey, it is this. Sometimes the smallest voices carry the biggest truths. And when a child speaks from fear, listen with your whole heart. It might save more than just a moment. It might save an entire future. The story didn't end the way I once imagined, but it ended with honesty, with safety, with a chance to rebuild. And sometimes, that is enough. If this story touched your heart, please stay connected. Your support helps bring more real stories to life. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more heartfelt stories just like this.